Hare Krishna. It's too small. Yeah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami16 Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Shunyavadi Bhaskyatyade Siddharine. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayom Vishnupad Brahmahang Sabragacharya Asatara Sadushi Shriman His Divine Grace Deity Bhaktivedanta Swami Raj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Glorious to the sound devotees All glorious to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhadaya Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswatundeve Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatya Desitare Om Agyana Timarandasya Kiranjana Salakaya Chaksur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Hidati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shigaro Shiyudha Parakamalam Shigaro Vaishnavam Scha Shirupam Sagradatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Prijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shiva Sakan Zvidam Scha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabando Jagatate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishabhanu Siddha Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakapa Truvyaska Kripa Sindhubhyascha Patidanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 1, observing the armies, text number 36. Papam eva shrayad asmad advaitan atatayina tasmanarha vayam hantum Tartarastran sabandhavan Swajanam hikatam hatva Sukhina shaima madhava Papam eva shrayad asman Advaitan atitayina Tasman narha vayam hantum Tartarastran sabandhavan Swajanam hikatam hatpa Sukhina shaima madhava Papam eva shayarasman Advaitan atitayina Tasman narha vayam hantum Tartarastran sabandhavan Swajanam hikatam hatva Sukhina shaima madhava. Lady. Papam eva shayarasman Advaitan atitayina Tasman narha vayam hantum Tartarastran sabandhavan Swajanam hikatam hatva Sukhina shaima madhava. Ladies. Papam eva shayarasman Advaitan atitayina Tasman narha vayam hantum Tartarastran sabandhavan Swajanam hikatam hatva Sukhina shaima madhava. Papam, vices, eva, certainly, ashrayat, one must come upon, asman, us, hatva, by killing, etan, all these, atatayina, aggressors, tasmat, therefore, na, never, arha, deserving, vayam, we, handum, to kill, Tartarastran, the sons of Dhritarashtra, Sabandhavan, along with friends, Swajanam, kinsmen, he, certainly, katam, how, hatva, by killing, sukhina, happy, shaima, will we become, madhava, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. BhaktivedantSwami16 Prabhupada. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? Purport. According to Vedic injunctions, there are 6 kinds of aggressors. 1, a poison giver. 2, one who sets fire to the house. 3, one who attacks with deadly weapons. 4, one who plunders riches. 5, one who occupies another's land. And 6, one who kidnaps a wife. Such aggressors are at once to be killed, and no sin is incurred by killing such aggressors. Such killing of aggressors is quite befitting any ordinary man. But Arjuna was not an ordinary person. He was saintly by character, and therefore he wanted to deal with them in saintliness. This kind of saintliness, however, is not for a Kshatriya. Although a responsible man in the administration of a state is required to be saintly, he should not be cowardly. For example, Lord Ram, or Lord Rama, was so saintly that people even now are anxious to live in the kingdom of Lord Rama, Rama Raja. But Lord Rama would never show any cowardice. Ravana was an aggressor against Rama because Ravana kidnapped Rama's wife, Sita. But Lord Rama gave him sufficient lessons, unparalleled in the history of the world. In Arjuna's case, however, one should consider the special type of aggressors, namely his own grandfather, own teacher, friends, sons, grandsons, etc. Because of them, Arjuna thought that he should not take the severe steps necessary against ordinary aggressors. Besides that, saintly persons are advised to forgive. Such injunctions for saintly persons are more important than any political emergency. Arjuna considered that rather than kill his own kinsmen for political reasons, it would be better to forgive them on the grounds of religion and saintly behavior. He did not therefore consider such killing profitable simply for the matter of temporary bodily happiness. After all, kingdoms and pleasures derived therefrom are not permanent, so why should he risk his life and eternal salvation by killing his own kinsmen? Arjuna's addressing of Krishna as Madhava, or the husband of the goddess of fortune, is also significant in this connection. He wanted to point out to Krishna that as the husband of the goddess of fortune, he should not induce Arjuna to take up a matter which would ultimately bring about misfortune. Krishna, however, never brings misfortune to anyone, to say nothing of his devotees. So the text again. Papameva shayarasman advaitanatitaina kasman narha vayam hantum tartarasran sabandhavan tartaras swajanamigatam hatva sukhina shaima madhava. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What shall we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune, and how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen? There's no way of turning this light off?
Yes.
You have to go in the back. They should have a switch up here.
Well, you mean it's disturbing?
Yeah. And that theoretically gets light. Namo Vishnu Viraya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskatyade Sadarne. Since this is the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna doesn't really know what's going on. And therefore it seems quite confusing. Arjuna is talking about sin, how if he slays his family members, it'd be sinful, and besides the fact that they're his family members. You generally don't want to slay your family members. On the other hand, it's all in the Bali concept of life. Arjuna is not recognizing how the material nature is actually working, because the material nature works under Krishna's direction. And therefore, what's considered to be sinful or pious ultimately is judged by Krishna, not according to Arjuna's sentimental vision of things. Therefore he says, Papam eva shrayadasman. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. And there are 6 kinds of aggressors. Does anyone remember the 6 aggressors? You remember? Go ahead.
When we give poison?
Yes.
One who attacks with deadly weapons.
Yes.
One burns the wife.
Kidnaps the wife?
One burns the house.
Yes.
Poison.
He should mention that.
One
Yeah.
from the riches.
What's that?
The richest takes land.
Yeah, occupies your land. Anything else? What's that? Yeah, occupies the land.
They plunder the riches.
Yeah, plunders your riches. All right. So in the case of Arjuna and the Pandavas, the Kauravas try to kill Bhima by feeding him poison. They took away all the riches in their land. They practically insulted their wife, practically plundered their wife. And what else was there? They burnt their house down. So they got, on every count, Arjuna had justification to kill them. But now out of some sentiment, because people wouldn't say it's sentiment, they think Arjuna is a nice person, he's so forgiving. Because there's no conception of varna and ashram. There's no conception that different people have different duties. Nowadays, the only duty is to eat, and if you're fortunate, to sleep, and if you're super fortunate, you can mate and defend. So basically speaking, people see their only duty is more or less to act like an animal. And the more you can act like an animal, then the more you're considered to be qualified. Generally speaking, if you have enough money, you can unlimitedly eat, sleep, mate, and defend. And therefore you're considered to be a leader in society. Because in order to get the money, we find, in order to keep the money, you don't have time to eat, sleep, mate, and defend. That's another thing. But the standard of success in material life is not at all considered in terms of spiritual attainment. It's simply economic development, and those who are fortunate, they can gratify their senses. Probably used to give the example that in aristocratic India, the wealthy people would prepare a huge feast and invite all their friends and relatives and sit down at an enormous table with so many preparations, all cooked in ghee. And they sit down there and they look at it, compliment how nice the food looked, and get up, because they're old and they had no digestion, so they couldn't eat the food. So then when they left, the servants would sit down and have a feast. The varnashram system is meant so that there's a class of people actually who have some vision. Vision means that they understand that the aim of life is liberation. And they know that in order to achieve liberation from the bodily concept of life, one has to engage in religious principles. One has to act according to Dharma, and Dharma is specific according to one's varna and ashram. Therefore, the learned people knew the different levels of renunciation and knowledge that each one of the varnas and ashrams have. Because varna and ashram was not according to one's birth. It was according to one's level of knowledge and renunciation. Those who had little knowledge and little renunciation, they were in the classification of Shudras. And those who had a little bit more knowledge and a little bit more renunciation were Vaishyas. Those who had more than the Vaishyas were considered Kshatriyas. Otherwise, how could the Kshatriyas go fearlessly on a battlefield and fight unless they were relatively free from the bodily concept of life? What to speak of fight and observe religious principles? They didn't throw mustard gas at the enemy and put on a gas mask. They were actually fighting on religious principles. And the Brahmins, they actually had a vision coming from the Vedas. They learned how to chant the Vedas. So the Vedas were not just theoretical to them. They were not just scholars of the Vedas, but they were realized. They could experience the Vedas just by reading them. They had realization. And the Kshatriyas, they were supposed to protect society. That was their duty. They were, on the basis of discrimination, especially coming from the Brahmins, they would understand what is religious and what is irreligious. And Krishna, as Krishna comes and he annihilates the irreligious and protects the righteous, so that was the job of the Kshatriyas. Nowadays, because people have no knowledge, therefore they don't know who's religious and irreligious. They think anyone who helps me feed my empty stomach is religious, and anyone who's doing anything against my empty stomach is the demon. Therefore, they don't hesitate to go over to different parts of the world, steal their riches, because they think whatever we do is religious. They have no conception of religion. Religion means whatever I want to do. And irreligion means what everyone else wants to do, if it's not in harmony with what I want. If I want to steal your money, I want to take your land and destroy you. If you don't accept that, then you're irreligious, and therefore it justifies whatever I do. Or in South Africa, there are some tribes there. They consider that if you're alive, you're good, and if you're dead, you're bad. Therefore, if I kill you, that's all right, because I'm alive, I'm good, and you're dead, you're bad. Similarly, in simplistic society, whatever I feel is good for me, that's religion, and whatever I don't feel is good for me, that's irreligion. I can justify doing whatever I want and say it's religion. And if I have control of the mass media, then I could try and convince everyone else that what I'm doing is actually righteous. But here Arjuna, he is confused, like most conditioned souls, the bodily concept of life. He thinks his self-interest is his family members. He doesn't know that actually acting on the basis of your family members, either accepting them, working for them, or working against them, is all on the basis of the bodily concept of life. That one should be working for Krishna. That's working on the spiritual concept of life. and that will actually free one from all ignorance and eventually liberate one and qualify one to go back to the spiritual world. What's to be done and what's not to be done has to be decided as it's related to Krishna, not as it's related to this body. Of course, those in the bodily concept of life, they may work according to the Varna ashram system, and therefore Kshatriyas, they have certain duties. But here Arjuna doesn't even know what the duty of a Kshatriya is. He's become so overwhelmed by sentiment that he doesn't even know that in the ancient times, that if a king's son was irreligious, the king would chastise him. And if his enemies was religious, he'd reward him. Here his relatives, grandfather Bhishma, Dronacharya, his teacher, they're sinful, and therefore Arjuna is obligated to fight our religious principles and defeat them. But he's even seemed to have forgotten the religious principles of a Kshatriya. Therefore Arjuna is not only in the bodily concept of life, he doesn't even know what his duty is. Of course, nowadays people could very well identify themselves with Arjuna because they have no idea who they are either, nor do they have any idea what duty is. And therefore, out of sentiment, they think Arjuna is correct and Arjuna is the aggressor. Trying to inspire Arjuna to fight, they think Krishna is somehow or another, he must have had a bad childhood, which is, it's just a product of the fact that he was born in a jail and he was an aggressor throughout his life, killing his nurse and the animals in the forest, and now he's in the same mood on the battlefield and falsely trying to invoke Arjuna's anger so he can follow Krishna's example and kill things. Undoubtedly due to frustration, being born to criminals like Devaki and Vasudeva, born in a jail cell. But this is all from the materialistic point of view. Actually, as Krishna will explain, that we are spiritual beings, and that no one will be killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, that Arjuna is obliged to kill them because they're acting irreligious. But they won't be killed because they're not their body, and if they're killed on such a righteous battlefield, they'll either go back to the spiritual world, if they remember Krishna at the time of leaving the body, or they'll at least get elevated to the heavenly planets. Therefore it's good for them, and it's good for Arjuna. But if he doesn't fight and flees the battlefield, then he'll incur sinful reactions for not doing his duty, but the fighting will go on anyhow. Simply he'll be the loser. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to spread the Hare Krishna mantra movement all around the world. It simply remains for us whether we want to do our duty and participate in his movement. It's going to be done. If we participate, then we'll get the credit and we'll get the benefit. Otherwise, we'll simply have to wait for the next Kali Yuga when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes so he can deliver us. Better to participate, assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his mission, become delivered, and go back to the spiritual world and not worry about all these technicalities. So I'll stop there. Thank you. We're supposed to stop at 8:15, is that right? What time?
Usually we wait for the bhajan.
What time do they come?
They come usually around 8:15.
So early. What time do they open the deities?
10 to 9.
Oh, they start the bhajans early. Okay. All right, any questions, comments? Go for it.
I'm all the time, I understand the philosophy, but I'm all the time attracted by defending the body of others and feel, well, the conscience of Krishna and how help to
Shanatenpa. Shanatep, Kamkhampa. Shanakampa.
For example, you said we are not this body. So during when we are in group during the Harinam, for example, if somebody have pain in the body and I know that I have the tendency to see the body of other and to have the intention to help the person for that she stay conscious of Krishna and say something, but in the same time I lost I can lose a lot of person and stay all the time at the end with the person who is sick. And since I'm young, it's all the time this situation. There are a group, something happen, and somebody fall, and I stay with the person, and other left, and I stay in this situation and think.
Oh, we hope that doesn't happen every Hari now.
Because I don't see the body of other, I continue to be happy and to be.
Yeah, we should be
fine.
happy.
It's why what we ask, we have to stay happy whatever happen.
No, you should be miserable and lament. Should suffer, try and suffer the more. It's like anything that will make Krishna very happy. And because actually we're not the body. If your car runs out of gas, do you fall out of the car and start crying? People come, well, just get some gas. No, my car is out of gas. It's finished. It's all over. Life is doomed. We're not the car. So if we remember Krishna, if we're in ecstasy, remembering Krishna, we won't bother so much about these things. We try to prevent them. We try to keep the body nice so we can serve Krishna nicely. But if by Krishna's arrangement we find some difficulty, we still remain in Krishna consciousness. Anything else? Yes.
In my mind it was always that it was 5 aggressors and bundles of riches, it says 6 here. And I was wondering, is it sometimes 5 or sometimes 6 or is it...
6.
Yeah, he said 6.
I just added an extra.
But sometimes
This is 30.
I thought it was 5. And don't
Maybe there's 5. Six, yeah,
Yeah.
there's 6. Poison giver,
Yeah.
one who sets fire to the house, one who attacks with deadly weapons, one who plunders riches, one who occupies another land, one who kidnaps a wife. So there's 6.
But sometimes it says, in other places it says 5.
Well, they missed out on one.
I just thought there was something behind
I mean, which one do you think is pious? He seemed pretty aggressive to me. No, if you set someone's fire in the house, it's just kind of to help them keep warm.
The plunder riches, I thought was sometimes not there, but I was just wondering if it was...
Well, okay. If I steal all your money, don't consider me aggressor.
Alright.
Yeah.
According to the Bhagavad Gita, these 6 kind of aggressors actually should be killed. Still, if you look at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lineage, actually, there's no killing of persons because he is delivering people.
Well, he almost killed Jagai Madai. Came pretty close.
And Dharamana, still he was very merciful.
Yeah, he was merciful. We're not so merciful.
These,
He didn't have to. I mean, who did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have to kill? Even the lions and tigers were dancing when he was around. He didn't have much reason to want to kill anyone. But he went out with a doing Harinam Sankirtan, civil disobedience. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement was able to charm everyone. we don't find very many reasons why anyone in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement would want to have killed anyone.
According to the Bhagavad Gita, you should kill them. But then again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu really didn't.
Because there's no, what was the reason? No one set fire to his house. No one plundered his riches. No one stole his wife. No one occupied his land. But that doesn't mean that King Prakashananda or King Pratapadra didn't kill anyone. No, he fought against the Nawab, Hussein Shah. He killed a lot of people. So it depends who you are.
Lord Chaitanya kills our sinful attitude, that attitude.
He's trying. Even for him, it's a tough one. It's quite a battle. Maybe that's why he doesn't kill anyone. He has too many other battles going on. Anything else? All right, thank you very much. Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande.